इसी के साथ आप तो हमारे साथ जुड़े ही जुड़े और काफ़ी सारे क्वेश्चंस जैसे कि मैंने मेंशन भी किया कि वर्चुअल प्लेटफॉर्म से भी आते ही जा रहे हैं, वहाँ पे भी काफ़ी सारी जो ऑडियंस है हमारे साथ जुड़ गई है, इसलिए उनका भी एक बार फिर से यूटीआई म्यूचुअल फंड इन पार्टनरशिप विद CNBC आवाज़ प्रेजेंट्स उड़ान में बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। अब हम एक काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग सेशन जो है, आप सेशन बोलिए या आपका फेवरेट सेशन हो सकता है वो बोलिए, आपके जो प्रिंसिपल है हमेशा आपसे सवाल करते होंगे, लेकिन आज हम अपने चैनल से CNBC आवाज़ से एक एंकर को लेके आए हैं जो आज आपके प्रिंसिपल से सवाल करेंगे। काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है सेशन, हमेशा आप चाहते होंगे लेकिन कर नहीं पाते होंगे, लेकिन आपके बिहाफ में हम करेंगे और जितनी भी उनकी लाइफ की जर्नी है, एक्सपीरियंसेस है, वहाँ से आप क्या सीख सकते हैं, ये काफ़ी ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है। ये हम यहाँ पे डिस्कस करने वाले हैं और इस कॉन्वर्सेशन के लिए हमारे साथ है डॉक्टर KN सुब्रमण्या, प्रिंसिपल ऑफ RV कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग, एक ऐसे लीडर जिन्होंने इस इंस्टीट्यूशन को एक्सीलेंस और इनोवेशन के साथ गाइड किया है। और इसी के साथ मैं CNBC आवाज़ से विपिन भट्ट जी को भी एक बार वापस से स्टेज पे वेलकम करना चाहूँगी। प्लीज वेलकम देम विद बिग राउंड ऑफ अपलॉज।
थैंक यू कंचन। कंचन ने पहले ही इतना समा बांध दिया है कि बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग एक चर्चा होने जा रही है। सो बिफोर आई स्टार्ट आई वांट टू से समथिंग। सो व्हेन आई अराइव्ड हियर इन मॉर्निंग आई हैव अ चांस टू मीट प्रिंसिपल सर। सो usually you saw the placard in my hands for all the sessions, but usually we send questions to the people before going into any discussions. These are formal questions, basically just to get an understanding of what we are about to discuss or something. But I swear, I never goes with those questions. They are just in my hand, but I ask what I want and how the discussion flows. But today, and in this discussion, I am going word by word what the questions are here on my hand. Why? I am telling you. Because when I was talking to the sir, I come to know that he is such a deep ocean of knowledge that I can't take a risk of asking him any question. Yes, indeed. He has such a big platform of knowledge, or whatever I can say, any adjective I can use, a kind of experience he have that I can't just waste 20-25 minutes in asking any question which comes to my mind. Though those questions will be good questions, but still, since I have prepared few questions which through which I try to dig out more and more meaningful things out of that. So sir, I will go word by word with those questions, and in between if I want to ask you anything, so please give me a pardon. Okay, so first is about leadership and vision. So as a principal, how do you ensure that RVCE's leadership philosophy remain grounded and in ethical principle while fostering an innovative and ecosystem that prepares students for future disruption like AI and sustainability?
Okay, good afternoon to all of you. So first of all, let me thank CNBC for giving me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts of over 35 years of experience I have in typically higher education in the country. So first of all, RV College of Engineering per se is a 60 years old institution, and this has been built on a lot of values because the whole trust and the school system was started by a freedom fighter and a school teacher. So obviously in 1940s it was started, and a strong value systems have been built. So this system may not depend on the individuals who come and go here, because a strong system has been built from the primary education to the secondary education to the tertiary education. So we have totally 27 institutions across the trust, and we have more than 30,000 students, maybe around 3,000 faculty, and lot of people have worked. They are working now, future people are going to come. So in that way, whole trust itself depends on the lot of value system, and it has been built on a philanthropic concept. So obviously, individuals, if they try to do some small mistakes also, system is always greater than individuals, and it is going to correct the system and the individuals also. So in that way, the leadership style has been borrowed from the past also, because we had very good leaders in the institution. So I may not do mistakes there. So in that way, the strong value system, what is built across over the period of time, has been definitely taken into consideration. So while saying that, obviously, you know, there is a lot of transformation happening in the higher education. Maybe the kind of transformation which you are seeing in the last 5 to 6 years, just after COVID, I think people would have taken more than 20 years prior to COVID. So I think the time frame, what we talk about, is very, very fast today. So obviously, the question comes that whether the same leadership, what people were doing before, will it hold good today? And the same vision, what has been said before, will it still hold good? I think these are the two questions to be answered. Fine? So as you know that here the people are all sitting at Gen Z. I think we are talking about most about them, where they want an instant gratification in whatever they do. Okay? Whereas the people sitting in the front who are of our generation are a little bit slow-paced, but we have experience. As Nelson Mandela tells that the youngsters are faster, but elders know the way. Fine? So in that sense, maybe handling the Gen Z is one of the most important things you have to keep track, and they become the center focus in while I'm setting any leadership style in the institution or vision for the institution. So in that way, keeping, let us say people are talking about AI. So you have to definitely move in the path of AI. That does not mean leave the moral values. So I think these are the two faces of the same coin. You have to look into it. So in that way, maintaining the moral, ethical and the spiritual values as an institution and moving towards AI, I think both is very, very important. I don't think these two are separate. These are the two faces of the same coin. If one fails, it will be difficult to bring the other also. So I feel the total value system becomes very, very important for the long-time sustenance of an institution. At the same time, moving with the times, all these technologies are going to be helpful. So I am sure that with the kind of experience the institution has, we are trying to balance both of them. And many things are work in progress because of the technological changes. But on the other part of the vision and the leadership, I think we have a strong background of doing it.
No, ethical values are no doubt very important. And my second question is that how you create that balance, as you said that this generation is Gen Z and they have a very different kind of a mindset, maybe they have a very different kind of approach towards life, they have a different set of the preferences. They're not like us and the people sitting in the first two rows. So it's very difficult with like teacher who are taughting them have a different kind of a mindset, have a different value system. And these guys have a very different value system which evolved from social media and it got changed on a very everyday basis. How difficult or how easy is to create a balance between those two?
So I think as we were discussing in the morning, we are talking to a generation at the tertiary education. Actually, if you want to make some changes here, some changes should have been made in the primary and the secondary education also. Because today that plays a very, very important role. And in fact, all these people will go through a stage called habit, attitude and behavior. There are 3 stages. I think people are sitting in the front rows, we all have a behavior pattern. A child when it is born, it is habitual. And all these people, or the students sitting here, Gen Z, are in the attitudinal level. Fine? So some things which have not been built as a habit, I think wrong things get carried to the attitude also. So I think that is the stage they are into. I think they have to be very, very careful of taking care of that. So what something has done at a habitual level, can I little bit make a change so that my attitude gets set right? And there is no same formula or one formula for all these things. I think every student sitting here has to think on his own based on what exactly you want to achieve. So I think that's the first thing. So maybe I don't say we can make a X change here in their attitudinal pattern. We can definitely make a delta X change because other factors are there for this. It could be the parental pressures, the society itself, the way they've been brought up. So there are a lot of stakeholders into this. So we are only one of the stakeholders who are here. So I feel individually they have to realize. Otherwise what happens as a system, if I say I changed all these students here, I think I'll be fooling myself. So it's not possible. So my way of looking at it is every individual, whether it is Gen Z or Gen X, it doesn't matter. I think they should start realizing from internally. We are trying to talk all these things on an external platform, But internally, as long as they can try to set things right, I feel generations doesn't matter according to me, and it could be carried forward.
So, sir, what exactly happened in last 10 or 15 years, you can say, even I experienced that, even I think you experienced that, at a level of distraction, any kind of distraction from social media to anything else, has been so much nowadays that it's very difficult to concentrate on a particular thing or to focus on particular aim, or to how to deal with that kind of distraction. Even sometimes I feel that it's very difficult. Even the people of my age, when I talk to other people, they say, yeah, there's a lot of change. It's a lot of distraction nowadays, and it's very difficult to handle. And then people have mental issues and all of things. These are young kids, and they're not mature enough to handle all those things. But at the same time, they're dealing the same situation. So what's the way out, sir?
Very difficult to answer, because we have a total of almost around, as on today, around 15,000 students in the campus, including RV University and RV College of Engineering. On an average, if you take 1.5 mobile phone per person, I have almost around 22 to 25,000 mobile phones in campus at any point of time. So obviously, there's a kind of volume we have to handle here. And each student, at least in a city, it is told that they use almost around 5 to 6 hours. They'll be in these gadgets. So it is a typically NP hard problem, non-polynomial type of a problem, so which is not so easy to solve it as long as we try to dissect it and try to look into it. I cannot look at it as a total gross level and try to solve a problem. So what all things which could be done? The point number one could be, this is happening in the education for a long time. I think it's only in India, even before the rules comes, people have already used all these gadgets. Whereas if you take other countries, I think they formulate the rules very thoroughly. For example, we work with German universities. I think no student can send any WhatsApp message to anybody in the campus. They have strong rules. Okay? Here, if I say that, I think people will laugh at me. So that's the way. I think we have to work out on the rules part as a country. We have some IT policies and things of that sort, but I don't think still it has been percolated to the education, as long it has to be done. So obviously, what we have to do is, we also have to get adjusted to that generation, because youth is always the power for the future. So what could be done is, maybe during the active period of in the college, so we can try to incorporate that as a part of our academics itself. Instead of telling, in fact, let me tell, in our college 10 years back, we had mobile lockers were there. Okay, so that means when they go to the class, they are supposed to keep it and then go inside. Fine, we have done all those exercises in the last decade. But today, recently, I sold out all those lockers as a scrap material. So we find it is not possible. So today, as long as they're sitting in the class and they don't use mobile, I'm very happy. I think we have come to that situation. So, but what could be done is, we can definitely make use of this and ask the students, instead of telling, okay, it is useless, you don't use mobile, I feel it is better, ask the questions, ask them to search. See, if I ask a question today to the students, how many of you see nobelprize.org website? 99% of the people would not have seen. It is one of the best websites anybody can look into in the education field itself. But majority would not have seen. So maybe can I challenge them in asking them to look in through their mobile, so that the learning also happens. I think we have to change our way of looking into the things instead of blaming the generation. So make it as a part of your whole education system itself, so that they'll use it for a useful purpose.
Okay. अच्छा, मैंने शुरू में बोला था कि I'm referring to my cards, and I think you saw that I'm not referring to my cards anymore, because एक क्वेश्चन के बाद ही मुझे समझ में आ गया कि मज़ा नहीं आ रहा है. So now the questions are coming from my heart, and equally the sir is enjoying, I think.
Yeah. Please.
Right. Now switching the talk to the some present. Say, I can't say threat is a word, but yes, there is a challenge, as you said, AI. Now, people like Bill Gates and many other people start saying that after 5 years or maybe 10 years, we don't need doctors, we don't need engineers maybe. The scenario will become completely changed. How challenging is that? How real is that?
Yeah. So I think in the previous speaker was telling AI is a boon as well as a bane. So let me tell the technology part of it. As on today, if you take, we are into the age of AI. That means what all the things AI is doing as of now is operational in nature. Okay? If you ask any top leader, are you using AI to take a decision of 10,000 crores? I don't think he's using that. But can you ask, instead of the people, 100 people doing the job, Can you have AI? I think that is going on. That's what we are seeing, and the changes happening. Let us say some company removes 12,000 people. In fact, other day we had one discussion from the BPM of Infosys. They say across the world they have 58,000 people working in all these business process management activities. And now they're slowly looking into having the processes automated to make it AI. And he was telling that maybe if they implement for all their customers across the world, in another 2 to 3 years, 58,000 people would not be needed. I think 3,000 people can do that job. That threat is anyway there for the operational kind of a job or a lower kind of a job. So that is going to happen. I think we have to be very ready for that. Even when computers came, people were talking about it. In 1990s, when computers were introduced, people were saying that, okay, there'll be no jobs. But I don't agree that. I think we have more jobs in Bangalore only in software today. So this is only people who cannot change, who cannot update their skill, keep talking. A person who is ready to change the skill, there's always a job for everybody. I think that's point number one. Now, AI is definitely having, as on today, the collective intelligence of the human beings is much more than the collective intelligence of the machines. They are expecting another 3 to 4 years, a generative AI is going to come. I think generative AI has already started coming, but I don't think it has percolated throughout the market. We are still in the growth stage in those areas. So when generative AI comes, it is predicted that the collective intelligence of the people is going to become the collective intelligence of the human beings. It is going to be equal. Okay? Then another 7 years, they're saying that a super intelligence is going to come. That is by 2050, they were telling. Now they have brought down the time, they say it's by 2040. And they say that the collective intelligence of the machine would be more than the collective intelligence of the human beings. We are seeing this now, but this has been predicted by Alvin Toffler, who has written a book on future shock. In 1960s itself, that by 2050, the collective intelligence of the machine would be much more than the collective intelligence of the human being. This has been told 40 years back only.
I think he says the final one will be the God AI.
Correct.
When AI become a God.
Correct. In fact, somebody says it may be Kalki also. Correct. I think that will be the end of the world. So that's what people say. So in that way, when things are happening, I'm sure we have to be prepared. I think that's the only way we have to look into it. As of now, in fact, they say that in another 7 to 8 years, the first sector which should be affected is education only. Now, as of now, in college, we have something called as a 1:20 student-faculty ratio. I think if the generative AI comes, they have predicted it is going to become 1:200. So that means one faculty can handle 200 students in a hybrid mode, online and offline put together. And they are told if the super intelligence comes, they say it is 1:2000. So they say that in another 7 to 8 years, I think education, traditional education institutions are going to have a hit if you don't try to improve upon that. So that's on one side. So the positive side of it. The negative side of it, let us come to it, what AI cannot do. I think slowly, a lot of research work is showing that because of the AI, there are a lot of disadvantages which are happening, that the cognitive abilities of the individuals are going to go down. I think that is a very threat in a long term. Short term, all of you may be feeling that it is giving a lot of things, but in a long term, I think our generation used to remember 100 phone numbers. We didn't have any gadgets. But today, because of all these gadgets, my phone number itself, I may forget sometimes. We have come to that level. That means the cognitive ability, if it goes down, then you'll have a problem. In fact, there is a center called the Consciousness Center in Nimhans, Bangalore. They made a study recently stating that there is a fluid inside the brain which takes care of the cognitive abilities, and they say that fluid is going to become zero when you start using all these things forever. Then you become a slave to the machine. So that is one threat. People say that cognitive abilities are going to be affected. So maybe we have to be very, very careful. I'm sure Indians are always smarter. They may not go to the extremes. When they come to know that something wrong is happening, they will again come back. So in that way, we should not feel too much, but as long as you can try to balance your cognitive abilities and the use of it. And the other disadvantage as far as the technology is concerned, we were again speaking in the morning, that if I want to ask, explain Newton's law, if I want to put it in the Google, I ask, the unit of energy spent is only 1 unit. But if I ask that in a chat GPT, for every 1 unit, 13 units of energy is spent. Because it is going to process lot of things through lot of data. So they have already predicted that by 2050, if we keep on using GPUs like this, I think we will not have power also. We don't have electricity at all. So I think that is the other danger which people are talking about. I hope from time to time, a lot of other good technology keeps coming so that we don't go to the extreme.
I think Ankushji is listening all those things. He's our next guest for the next session, which is based on AI only. So Ankushji, you had a lot of things to be answered here on this platform. Right. Before I conclude, sir, one important question, and I just need a short answer of this, that on many platforms, it was said that Indian entrepreneurs, especially the tech entrepreneurs, are not generating the kind of entrepreneurship which we saw in like country like US or any other country. They made Google, they made Facebook, or something which is path breaking. We are just aggregator kind of companies. We are riding a taxi, startup, make you shopping a kirana thing on your startup. So the thing is that is our curriculum, is a study curriculum is not of that quality that we are not so innovative in doing a kind of innovation what we saw in other countries, kind of startup coming there. Is the lack of, it's a kind of a curriculum we are lacking in, or there is something else?
See, first of all, what happens if you take entrepreneurship, it is a mindset. I think that's the fundamental thing. And at least in this part of South India, we feel that we are all very comfortable working for others. I think that has been there for a long time. And even our parents, if I ask somebody here, how many want to become an entrepreneur, they may be ready. Then they go back, ask their parents, they may not accept. I think that's the first family kind of a thing which you have to look into the entrepreneurial skills. The second part is that obviously our education system was not tuned to this kind of a thing for a long time, because we followed a mechanized education system which was totally memory based, and it was not happening. But astonishingly, I find even in our college only, in 1960s and 70s, people who have studied, there are no campus placements during those times. You have to search for your job. I think that's the time we have found more entrepreneurs from our college than today. So necessity is the mother of invention. But today you say that 350 companies come to our college and say you become an entrepreneur. I think people take an easy path. I'm getting 30 lakhs, 25 lakhs. Why should I struggle? So I think we have to balance these two things. The placement job giver versus job seeker attitude is one. And I'm sure with national education policy, I think these entrepreneurial things have been taken very, very seriously, taken by all the institutions in the country. And obviously in Bangalore, I'm sure people sitting here will have a lot of avenues to work in a startup because it is a startup capital. So I think things are slowly changing it. I think it is not related to innovation at all. If you take a startup in Stanford also, there are a lot of Indians there. Okay? Maybe the ecosystem was not provided here. Now the ecosystem is coming up. I am sure that we are going to have a lot of good entrepreneurs like Google. Maybe next 5 to 10 years, they've already predicted. And I hope it is going to happen in India.
Hopefully so, sir. And I have few more questions, but time does not permit to go beyond this. But I think these kids are in the very safe hands. And yes, I wish a very bright future for you in the leadership of Principal, sir. And I wish you all the very best. And thank you very much, sir, for this insightful talk.